Hunting with the lion. It was a dry summer. The animals in the forest were difficult to find their food. A bear, a wolf and a jackal thought it would be better to join hands with a lion and do the hunting. They approached Lion and he too agreed. The four of them went for a hunting. They all saw a buffalo being alone and planned to kill it. The fox and jackal chased the buffalo first. The bear intercepted the buffalo. The lion killed the buffalo. The fox made shares out of the buffalo. When they were about to take their shares, the lion roared and said, "Well, friends, the first share is mine for my leadership. The second share is mine because I killed it. The third share is also mine for I need it for my cubs. Anyone who needs a share can take the fourth. But, before that you will have to win me." All the three left the place without a single word. Let the master wake up. Once, a dog and a donkey were going to the town along with their master. The master put down the donkey's bundle and sat down under a tree and slept with a little sleep. The donkey began to grazing. The dog felt very hungry. He asked the donkey, "There are some loaves among the load you were carrying. Please give one to me." The donkey said, "Sorry. I can't. Let the master wake first. Then he will feed you." Just then a wolf came there. The donkey asked the dog to help it. The dog replied, "I do not have enough strength to deal with the wolf. Let the master wake up. He will help you." The donkey realized his folly and said sorry to the dog. Finally, the dog helped the donkey. Never disparage others' dangers. Once a flock of sheep was grazing in a field of grass. Suddenly, a deer came there and began grazing there. Some sheep saw it and began to bleat. Hearing his bleat, the shepherd got alert. Seeing the deer, he went up to it and lifted it in his arms. Then he decided to carry it to a butcher. The deer thought that its death was near and started shouting to escape from danger and struggled to escape. The sheep saw the deer making a fuss and rebuked it, saying, "Why should it do this? Our master often catches us like that and drags us off too. But we never make any fuss." The deer replied, "You don't know why he is doing this? Your master catches you only for wool, but I have been caught for my flesh." Deer said that do not think it's easy to keep others in danger. Stupid goats. It was a dense forest. In that forest, a narrow bridge was in the middle of a river. One day, two goats came near the bridge to cross it. One goat came at one end of the bridge and another goat from the other side. Only one person can cross the bridge at a same time. On knowing this, the two goats jumped in the middle of the bridge to cross it. The first goat said, "Let me go." The second goat said, "I came first and I want you." The first goat said, "Let me go." The second goat said, "I came first and I want you to let me go." Thus, both goats began to fight without any compromise. When, fighting, the two goats began to fall into the river due to lack of any grip, when they fell into the river, the two goats felt regret for their mistake. At last, the two goats drowned in water and died. Once when a lion, the king of the jungle, was asleep, a little mouse began running up and down on him. This soon awakened the lion, who placed his huge paw on the mouse, and opened his big jaws to swallow him. "Pardon, O king," cried the little mouse. "Forgive me this time. I shall never repeat it and I shall never forget your kindness. And who knows, I may be able to do you a good turn one of these days," the mouse said. The lion was so tickled by the. Some time later, a few hunters captured the lion, and tied him to a tree. After that they went in search of a wagon, to take him to the zoo. Just then the little mouse happened to pass by. On seeing the lion's plight, he ran up to him and gnawed away the ropes that bound him. "The king of the jungle, was I not right?" said the little mouse. The lion also agreed. The mouse, frog and an eagle. A mouse and a frog were friends. Every morning the frog would hop out of his pond and go to visit his friend, Mouse asked Frog to teach swimming to it. Frog accepted its request. One day, the frog tied one end of a string around its own leg, tied the other end to the mouse's leg, then the eagle which was flying over looked at them and came to attack them. Frog immediately fell into the water with the mouse to save its life. The mouse, which drowned in water, was dead. While its body was floating above, its legs were tied along with the frog. At that time, the eagle saw the mouse floating on the water and came down to pick the mouse and fly it over. Even the frogs tied together with the frog was also clutched by the eagle. The root of the matter. On early morning, a porcupine came and asked a dog for food. The dog said that he had no food but showed him a field of sugarcane belonging to a judge. Eat as much as you want, but leave the roots intact so that the plants will grow again, said the dog. He began to visit the field every day. In the beginning, he ate only the stems, as directed by the dog, but after a few days he began to eat the roots too. One day the judge saw the destruction in his field and was very angry. He called the dog and accused him of destroying his crop. The dog complained it was the porcupine's action. The porcupine said I was innocent and suggested that the matter be settled in court. The judge agreed. The porcupine waited till winter set in. Then one morning he went to the dog's house and told him the judge had summoned them. When they entered the judge's chamber, the dog began to shiver with the cold. See how the dog trembles, isn't that a sure sign of guilt? Said the judge. What do you have to say? Asked the judge, looking at the dog sternly, but the dog's teeth were chattering with the cold and he could not speak. Thinking that his silence was an admission of guilt, the judge pronounced him guilty, and kicked him out of the house. See how the dog trembles, isn't that a sure sign of guilt? Said the judge. Once there was a time some birds and some animals lived in the sky. The dog and the hen lived there, too. One day it was very cold in the sky. The birds asked the dog to go down to the earth and bring fire to make the sky warm. The dog went down and came to a man's house. The dog saw many bones near the house. It began to eat the bones and forgot about the birds and the fire. The birds waited for the dog, but the dog did not come back. The dog decided to live with the man. As it was still cold, the birds sent the hen down to bring some fire. The hen went to a man's house and saw some seeds near the house. The hen did not think about the fire, ate up the seeds. The hen also decided to live with the man. That's why the birds and the animals do not like the dog and the hen. They left their friends in the cold for the sake of good food.